Hello guys, welcome to our math course, and today's topic is system of inequalities, one of which linear and the second is quadratic. And the second topic, system of two quadratic inequalities. Okay, you will be able to solve system of inequalities, two inequalities, one of which is linear and the second is quadratic, and solve systems and sets of two quadratic inequalities. Okay, key terms: system of inequalities, system of two quadratic inequalities, separately, intersection. Learn these key terms. Information for review. First note, discriminant of a quadratic equation, you know from the last lessons. And if discriminant is greater than 0, the equation has two real roots. If discriminant is equal to 0, we have double root. And the third one, if discriminant is less than 0, the equation has no real solutions. Okay? The next, second note, to find zeros of quadratic equation, we can use quadratic formula. And the third one, filled circle corresponds to non-strict inequalities, that is, point belong to the solution. And unfilled circles corresponds to strict inequalities, that is, point don't belong to the solution. Okay, learn these notes. Let's start. A system of inequalities is a set of two or more inequalities in one or more variables. To find the solution of a system, we solve each inequality separately and then find the intersection of the solutions. For example, here you can see the second one is linear inequality and the first one is quadratic inequality. And here the first one is linear inequality and second one is quadratic inequality. Let's solve example number 1. First, we must find zeros of polynomial. And to do this, we just factorize this inequality here and equalize each factor by 0. And then we can find the zeros of our polynomial. First one is 3, the second one is 1. And then we construct the sign chart. Here you can see the polynomial, and in this part we write our zeros. We write unfilled circle because our inequality is strict. And then, to put the signs, we look at leading term. Here, x squared is the leading term, and the coefficient is 1, positive number. From that, here we start by putting plus. And after each zero, we change our sign. Here will be minus, and then plus. And our answer will be this part, from 1 to 3, because our inequality is less than 0. And then, second one, linear inequality. It is easy to solve. We just add 4 to both sides, and then divide by 2 to both sides, and x is less than 2. Or you can construct the sign chart. Here will be unfilled circle because inequality is strict, and then leading term is 2, it is positive number. From that, here will be plus, and then sign is changed after the 0, and here will be minus. We take this part because inequality is less than 0. After that, third one, we must find intersection of these two solutions. Here you can see that first polynomial, the answer of first polynomial here, the answer of second polynomial is here, yes? And our intersection of these solutions will be this interval. And x is element of interval from 1 to 2. Okay, I think it's clear. Example number 2. In this example, I will show you another method of solving this type of inequalities. Okay, first find the zeros of each polynomial. X minus 1 greater than 0, and then we write this one by equation, yes, and x will be equal to 1. And the next, second one, we must solve this quadratic equation. By factoring, here will be x minus 3 multiplying by x plus 1 equal to 0. And first 0 is 3 and second one is minus 1. And then we construct the sign chart. The first polynomial will be here, the second one is here, and system of our inequalities will be in the third column. And here will be our zeros, yes? And then 0 of the first polynomial is 1, and here will be unfilled circle because inequality is strict. And then we put signs here. We look at leading term of this inequality, and here the leading term is x, and the coefficient is positive. From that, here will be plus. After the 0 of this polynomial, we change sign. Here will be minus. And our solution will be this part because our inequality is greater than 0. And then next, minus 1 and 3 are roots of this polynomial. And the circle will be unfilled because inequality is strict. And here will be plus because leading term is positive. After the 0, we change the sign. Yes? And we take negative part because our inequality is less than 0. After that, finally, our answer will be intersection of these two solutions from 1 to 3. Next, here we can see system of two quadratic inequalities. Our second topic. I will explain you this topic by solving examples. Look at this example. Solve system of inequalities. Okay, first, find the zeros of each polynomial. By solving this quadratic equation, we can find our zeros. First 0 is 2, the second one is minus 5. You can solve this quadratic equation by using quadratic formula. Here I use the method of factoring. Okay, second, by solving this quadratic equation and by factoring, here we'll have 2x minus 1 multiplying by x plus 6. And our zeros are 1 over 2, the second is minus 6. We need to find values, so first polynomial is greater than 0 and the second polynomial is less than or equal to 0. Let us check the sign chart. Here we'll write our polynomial. First one is here, the second one is here. And the system of quadratic inequalities is written here. And in this part we write our zeros, yes, by increasing order. And the zeros of the first polynomial are minus 5 and 2, and the circle is unfilled because inequality is strict. And then we look at the leading term. Here x squared is leading term and the coefficient is positive. From that we start here by plus. After the 0 we change our sign, and after the second 0 we also change. we take positive side because our inequality is greater than 0, and this interval will be our solution of this inequality. Second one. -6 and 1/2 are zeros of the second polynomial, and circle will be filled because our inequality is non-strict, yes? And then putting here the signs, we look at the leading term. Leading term here 2x squared, and 2 is a positive number. From that we start here by putting plus. And after the zeros we change our sign, yes? And then we take the negative side here because our inequality is less than or equal to 0. Our solution will be this interval. And the last, our answer will be this interval because intersection of two solutions will be here. So our answer will be x element of the interval from -6 to -5. Here the bracket is square bracket because we write here a filled circle. Pay attention to this one. And the last fourth example, solve system of inequalities. Look at this inequality. We can rewrite this inequality. Okay? X squared plus 1 is greater than 4x minus 2. I write here. Yes? And x squared plus 1 is less than 4x plus 6. I write this inequality under this one. And I will put here this sign, and this will be our system of two quadratic inequalities. And then, by following the steps, first, we must write these inequalities in the standard form, leaving only 0 on the right side. Okay? Let's write. X squared minus 4x plus 3 is greater than 0, and second one will be x squared minus 4x minus 5 is less than 0. And then we must find zeros of each polynomial. Let's solve first one. By solving this quadratic equation, we can find our zeros. Yes? First one will be 3 and second one will be 1. And the second one is here. By factoring this quadratic equation, we will have x minus 5 multiplied by x plus 1. And the zeros are 5 and minus 1. And then we construct the sign chart. Yes? Here we write the first polynomial, here the second polynomial, and here we write system of our inequalities. Yes? And then in this part we write our zeros by increasing order. Yeah? 1 and the 3 are zeros of first polynomial, and the circle is unfilled because inequality is strict. Yes? Here look, two inequalities are strict. From that, all of the circles will be unfilled, and the sign will be here plus because leading term is positive, and after each zero we change our sign. We take here positive side because inequality is greater than 0, and this interval will be solution of the first inequality. And second one, minus 1 and 5 are zeros of the second polynomial, and the sign starts from plus because leading term is positive, and after each 0 we change our sign and we take the minus sign because inequality is less than 0, and this interval will be solution of the second inequality. And finally, look at intersection of these two solutions. Our answer will be these intervals. X is the element of interval from -1 to 1 union interval from 3 to 5. I think you understand all of the informations. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.